fine people, to
Yo,
Are we not entertained?
a fun edition of the Guard
It
Report.
was an MSG, but we'll take it.
Nothing but happy times. Yeah, right. Look at it.
this was a great game.
2 great games so far out of the first 4, with the opener being super entertaining. This was a fun game, man. This was a lot of fun to watch. But like more importantly, like of all of the question marks and all of the things that everyone's concerned with regarding the team, a lot of boxes got checked tonight, if only for a night, but it's still pretty good. Here, Celtics overcame a 12-point deficit, in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes to go, and then went on a 12 or a 14-0 run in overtime to shut it down. I mean, they were down 12 with 6 minutes to go, and shot back, had a chance to, winning shot to possibly a shot to win it, didn't, and absolutely blew the Hornets' doors off in overtime, and they win. This was a fun game, 140-129. Great performances from Tatum and Brown together. Marcus Smart doing Marcus Smart things, late, not early, but late. He definitely came around. Rob Williams looking more like Rob,
Spry.
even though he was.
Shout out to you, John. Shout out to you.
He's
spry.
It doesn't mean that he was doing it before and we missed it. He wasn't. This was the first. He was active all game, but he was springy and spry today, and definitely was getting off his feet a lot more, and it impacted the game in huge ways. Schroeder,
he had to, right, John? And that last one, that alley-oop from Tatum, he had to go get that. So
get up there.
Yeah.
So guys, I'll start with there was
Jaylen Brown buried a man tonight. Did you guys?
Yeah.
We can't start the show without saying rest in peace to Miles Bridges. He had a good little career going
Miles
too.
Bridges will be coming up from the ashes at some point.
Well, Miles Bridges got a taste of his own medicine finally.
Yeah.
Because that's what Miles Bridges does.
He does. He assassinates people
for the most part, and I think this goes for the entire overtime period. That was the older players on the game saying, "Look, it's time for us to take over now." The Schroders, the Tatums, the Browns, like
the old guys
veterans now, right?
The
There's
Tatums.
no more kids here.
Tatum, all 19 years of him.
Yeah, right.
Jaylen turned 25.
Jaylen just had a birthday. Yeah, he's like, dude, I've been. What is it, quarter century? All right, come on. Let me show these kids
the boomers.
I got some miles here. I got some miles.
Like me and Sherrod coming back tonight was the return of the boomers, right? Like
that's right.
and not to discredit the Hornets because they played a heck of a game, but at like the 2 minutes into that overtime, they were like, well, wait a minute, we shouldn't even be in overtime. You know what? Let's close the door on these guys. 12-0 run to close it out, and Jaylen Brown, man, like that's the kind of dunk that when they show the highlights of his career, you're gonna see that one. Like when they show his greatest dunks, that's up there already. That's it. It's gonna be there for a while.
I don't know.
I don't know if it was that great of a dunk, but dunking over Miles Bridges is something.
In the moment, it was fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
Regardless of who the victim is, regardless of who the victim is, that I don't know. That's up there.
It was huge. No, it was awesome, and he was fired up.
That's okay. I caught it, John. Caught it.
He was
fired up. Those are the best ones, guys. It happens so fast. Life comes at you fast, right?
Is Josue's audio doing the little digital robot right now? The guy can't even get his first point across.
No,
I thought it was just me.
Strikes again.
Wait, was doing it the whole time? Shut up.
Just parts of it.
Don't worry, mine's already screwed up too.
No. Jimmy, what popped for you tonight? What stood out most? There's a lot of stuff tonight.
I mean, there honestly, like, there's a few things. I mean, I was. Jason Tatum was kind of in his bag tonight, which was really great to see after he's had a couple of colder ones, and he can get hot like the best of them in the NBA. He can also get cold, unfortunately, but tonight he just looked like the Tatum that's going to carry these guys on those certain nights. And I mean, man, the step back jumpers, the threes, he was feeling it. Something stuck out to me. I was obviously had a close eye on Jaylen Brown because anybody who watched the show last night knows how, high alert I am when, he misses the third game of the year and, we talk about knee pain. So I was obviously looking to see how he was, going on that knee. And I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't really notice much, of him in pain. Clearly he's throwing balls down people's throats, Miles Bridges. But I thought he had a little bit of a quiet first half, but overall, great performance. And then one more guy I'll say that I was impressed with is Schroeder. I mean, he just seems more and more comfortable in that point guard role. Doesn't really matter who's out there with him. He's playing his game.
Well, the Sherrod, I want your take, and then we can kind of go piece by piece here because there's a lot. Both, I thought Schroeder was good. I thought Marcus, like I said, made some plays late. I do think the double point guard lineup combo has not been great together, but obviously there were good things that happened late because both guys were making plays individually. But up until this point, has not been outstanding. But Sherrod, what stood out to you?
The guy that stood out to me was Marcus Smart because he got back to doing Marcus Smart things. I mean, this is a game where he was 3 for 12, had a crappy shooting game, and yet he made a significant impact on winning, forcing the steals. And I thought after that one steal near the end of regulation where he's got the ball, and damn well it crossed his mind even for a millisecond to jack that shot up. He looks over to the bench. Ime wants a timeout. They get a timeout. And obviously they didn't get a great shot at the very end of regulation. But the point is he didn't buy into that impulse of just jacking up a shot.
Yeah. So everyone's going to
shout out to Gordon Hayward, who clearly played like someone who had no clue about who the hell he was playing against.
I know.
He made Marcus Smart is going to make a play on the ball.
He's going to get a hand on that, man.
What the hell was he thinking?
But you know what I liked? You know what the moment of the game was for Smart? And so I don't want to go – everyone's going to be like, oh, you're going negative here. I think what Schroeder does well highlights what Marcus does not, because when they're in the game together, you see Schroeder getting into the lane in a way that Marcus cannot. Schroeder's an imperfect player, but if Marcus isn't a dead-eye shooter and not able to get into the lane to penetrate and then to kick or to dish, he's very limited in what he's able to do in a half-court offense. And it really is highlighted when you see Schroeder playing such high energy and getting to the basket and putting the pressure on the defense. So I am a little worried about the Marcus Smart experiment overall, but what we need is Marcus just to do 4, 5, 6 of those things that he does to impact the game in multiple ways. And that's what we talked about is he's not a true point guard, but when he's not making those 5, 6, 7 winning plays, he's not doing enough. So tonight, I thought the most important thing that happens is when LaMelo friggin' broke Marcus's ankles. And I think that woke him up because the next 2 trips down later, he got
in his face.
After it, he's like, nope, I just got embarrassed. And it's like that switch where you're like, where has that been? I really think he flipped it right there. And he was way more active and engaged in a million different ways, made a ton of Marcus plays, active hands, good deflections, playing defense with his feet and his body, staying in front of people, really, really, really changed things around. Obviously he hit a couple of shots late where he really wasn't hitting much early. So I thought that was a good one. But again, it comes down to choice with him, which is like, are you going to be that guy? Like, don't get your contract and stop diving on the floor. Like, without diving on the floor, you're not worth that money.
Yeah,
that's what he's got to be. He's got to go out there. He's still got to.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, John. But I don't think it's a matter of him controlling it. I think it's one of those things where he just wants to be more of a not a focal point of the offense, but wants to have more of a say. Like that's what a point guard's supposed to do. And I feel like with when he's out there with Schroeder, it's tough because Schroeder's the type of guy that can make a lot of things happen when the ball's in his hands. So it leaves Marcus sort of, in an awkward position, but he didn't lose the intensity on the defensive end. So
there was one part Schroeder waved him off too. He's like, I got
that. and then I thought,
like, give me the ball on the point guard. He's like, nah, and he took
I got this.
I thought when Tatum got him the ball, from behind the arc, and it was 2 seconds left on the shot clock, he saw that, okay, here's my chance. Didn't make it, but again, to your point, or I think what Sherrod said, it didn't discourage him from the defensive end. And then when the overtime started, he was in lockdown mode.
Yeah, it was good. That's what he has to do. Jimmy, you missed us saying nice things about Marcus.
I was watching from behind the scenes. So, I thought Marcus defensively tonight.
I don't think you heard.
Defensively had a nice impact in that, especially in that overtime, but the fourth quarter there. John, I heard what you said. It kind of woke him up a little bit when he got his ankles snapped there. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't like he fell over.
He just put him on skates a little bit.
Dude, LaMelo
he was on skates. Come on, Jimmy.
Fine, but LaMelo Ball's been going to be doing that to everybody for a long, long time. That kid can freaking play.
He's so much better than I thought. He's better than he was last year. To me, there's no doubt about that, and that's scary.
Yeah,
I feel like we all knew that one guy who's the knockdown shooter, but that guy usually didn't make it to the league. Like he's just.
I've already gone on apology camp, I think, last season on LaMelo Ball, so I'm not going to rehash it. But listen, Marcus Smart is going to make his, going to earn his play by being the Marcus Smart that all the fans, grew to love right here in Boston, right? The Marcus winning plays type guy. The shot was still off. He's still got to figure out what's going on with that outside shot, since I think like the first game of the season he's been pretty much an automatic miss from like deep. So that's still an issue. But if he can do it in other ways with the passing, with the defense, with the energy, steals, whatever, then that's how he's going to end up on the court. I still think Schroeder, that was, again, one of my bold predictions. Schroeder might end up being the more dependable, true point guard on this team when it's all said and done, but certainly Marcus Smart can have an effect on the team in positive ways.
Yeah, I mean, the shooting is rough. It was another bad one again. 3 of 12, 1 of 9 after 3 of 8, 1 of 5, and an 0 for in game 2. He did make 5 out of 11 3-pointers, but I mean, overall right now, his overall field goal percentage is 28 and his 3, it's really dark times for Marcus right now. And it's not like
loves looking at that column. That's your favorite Marcus Smart column, huh? Shooting percentage.
Well, I mean,
it's the NBA, Josue. It's kind of important.
Marcus kind of stands out, Josue.
Pretty sure you got to hit a shot.
One of my favorite
field goal is one thing, but he's looking at the 3-point all the time.
No,
John, what about the winning plays category? What about the winning plays category?
Shares.
Go to that one.
My 2 favorite stats are the WP and the MV, the winning plays and the moral victories. As long as
moral victories. Yeah.
No, I don't like the MVs. No, that's for minor league.
What about the PT category? Participation trophy.
I love
MVs. Aren't the Patriots leading the NFL in MVs right now?
I love Celtics. I remember back in the day, we were just at NBC, Sherrod. We were just the king, and Jimmy there too, the king of MVs. They didn't win.
Lost by 5.
Oh, but man, that's a good team that they hung with there. And we were
Are you talking about the beginning of the Brad era?
Yeah. So many MVs.
We scored 37.
We're gonna welcome in Bobby.
It's Jimmy Toscano.
Yeah,
Bobby.
Jimmy's in the room here.
I feel that Bobby is filled with 7 or 8 really bad takes tonight, and I want to hear them all.
We got 2 Jimmys. Let's go.
Hey, you know where I was at with Marcus? I was low on
you were
Marcus
ready to kill Marcus.
Can
you apologize to yourself from 15 minutes ago? And I'll do this. I'll do the same thing about Tatum.
Yeah, definitely. He looked so much like himself in that second half, but the shooting woes still continue. He's just a non-factor in the scoring game, which matters. So it's nice he picked it up and started going in the right direction there, but it overall doesn't alleviate all my fears and worries about him to start this season. He has been so slow. I can't even dream of making a shot right now. And again, this is what you want to see him do in response to that, but it's worrisome that he wasn't doing that to start the year. Some good passing in the early portions of the season, but you didn't see him get involved in the lane.
Did you say Jabari Parker?
We'll get to Jabari. We'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, are you making threes like he's Jabari Parker, man? What do you want?
What about boomers? Shout out to the boomers.
Oh, so good.
Jabari Boomer Parker. My gosh.
Yeah. You know what's a boomer move? When he got the ball in the corner, took a dribble, and then took a 3. Parker made it though.
Jabari shooting line drives down at the rim.
Yeah, I'm not hating, but come on, that's that boomer game. That's that old man.
Friggin' heat-seeking missiles. Those things. Yeah. The arc on those things is just like that.
Seriously though, how much
that much off the ground?
Oh my god!
How much of a boost was he?
It was awesome.
We were like, why'd they cut him? If they actually went ahead and just let him go, I would have been so frustrated.
it was a restructure the whole time.
It's a money thing.
That was a sigh of relief
Cap
right
saver.
there. Yeah. So that was a sigh of relief because this is a role he can really thrive in. We've talked about it again and again. He has no expectations. Anytime they need him, he can jump in. Doesn't need a lot of shots and looks to get going. He can just get right down to the rim.
When he gets in, he has one job: get buckets.
The 3-point shooting, stunning though. He has never done this.
Oh, and the rebounding, Sherrod. Those second chance opportunities.
You know what? That was to me. That was icing on the cake that he was getting rebounds because I don't expect him to rebound. I don't expect him to defend. But
running the break, Sherrod.
What's that?
He was out running the break a little bit.
He looked fluid.
He looked good.
Oh, what a boost! And what a win!
Yeah. You know that old head game.
Yeah,
I do.
To go
you got 1 or 2 of those full length run the floor moments in your game all night. Don't ask for any more.
And some hard box
he didn't do that again. You notice he did it that one time.
speaks for itself, but Jimmy, Josue, and I were talking about
Right.
this yesterday. We knew this would be a really hard game against a team that's rolling, and Charlotte did bring it to Boston on offense through 3 quarters. To be able to get up from down 12, and really, if you look at the win probability, they're having a very slim chance to win this
Down
game at
12
that
with
point.
6 minutes to play, and
Yeah.
they ripped it. You
And
know?
you end up winning
Yeah.
by 5, right? Or 11 in the end with the free
Yeah.
throws and all that. But it's just a very impressive win on both ends of the floor. I think they made a lot of progress here. And just the feeling of going home at 2-2, knowing you stole a game versus 1-3. Like you said, with the moral victory, I wasn't going to accept the moral victory out of this one.
No,
It
not
was-
tonight.
Yeah,
really wanted
you
to
were
win this
there.
one.
You needed to go and claim it. And the guy who impressed me most, there were a lot of impressive performances here, but Dennis Schroeder really starting to feel like he's finding himself within this offense, empowered as a point guard through much of the stretch of these games. And I was very happy Ime kept rolling with that, even though it was Horford who was out tonight, because could have gotten away from that, could have gone with Grant. And it seems like Schroeder's smart, even though the defense just backs way off them. The Celtics are just scrapping together enough shooting. I haven't looked at where they rank in the league in 3-point percentage so far, but Grant, Parker, Tatum, obviously, on a night like this, just all these random guys keep stepping up and giving them 3-point shooting. Schroeder was in that category here tonight, too. So that's encouraging because that was their big weakness.
So that was the one thing I'd say, I'm not going to say unsustainable. The one thing I'd be concerned about here is like getting another night like that where you're getting, guys like Schroeder and Parker hitting from behind the arc, which you're not expecting them to get. But then it really didn't matter because in the second half, things fell more into order. So the first half, those things kept them alive, I think. In the second half, it was really more a matter of Tatum playing as complete a game as we've seen him play in a really long time. And it wasn't just the scoring, it was how
he was
scoring
so good
on the pick and roll, splitting the defense, getting into the lane.
Creating for Rob, the great chemistry with Rob late.
Kicking to Marcus, got him an open 3 look, running back and playing defense. He had that great sequence where he had the assist and then got back and got a block.
Some MVP playing right there, John.
That was like a totally baller sort of thing for Tatum tonight. He played like
we
an
talked
all
about
around
this
game. And at the time when Jaylen wasn't really going, and then Jaylen did start going late, and that kind of combo definitely is what led them.
And we talked about the accountability that he stepped up with after that Toronto game, saying, I'm not perfect. I lost control there, taking the blame for falling into that ref hole during that game. Sounded pretty sincere, and that was big for me from him. It showed he cared.
You noticed also, guys, and tell me if you agree, I think the complaining, it's there, but they're getting off it quicker, you know? And I noticed it a few times where it'd be like, up, and then be like,
that's the new thing. It's just hands up.
I've been told not to do this, and then going back.
They're a lot smarter about it now than they've been in the past, where before they would just bitch and moan about every single call. Like Grant Williams may have had one of the low-key, awesome plays where he thought he got whacked in the head, and he calmly went up to the ref, wouldn't stop it to play.
Like, so I got
and
hit.
they were not going to review that play. They had absolutely no intention. Grant talked him into doing that, got a flagrant one. He knocks down a couple free throws. Little things like that, I think, show their growth. And Ime, one of the things, and we haven't talked about this yet, but the decision to start fouling Plumlee when the game was like, that was –
the game turned in an instant.
That was huge. That was huge. I was finally looking for some kind of like Ime adjustment that swings the tide of the game in the Celtics' favor, and that was it.
Yeah, Grant must have went up to Ime after that one with the wink.
It's like after Friday's game, Bobby. When I told you, I said I couldn't. I was more looking forward to how he was going to bounce back as opposed to smashing the panic button or saying, "Oh man, this team, they better get some wins really soon." Let's see how Ime reacts. Let's see how he responds to adversity. This is his first spot. This is his first time in that position. So I thought he did a really good job of making those adjustments. And also when it came to putting the lineup together, he put together a second unit to strengthen those guys. Obviously, Jabari Parker coming in and draining 3-pointers was a big push. Even Peyton Pritchard, I thought, he's building a solid second unit there, even with guys out, guys like Al Horford, who's been tremendous the last couple of games.
Yeah. I mentioned it. I asked you guys today when we were texting, just how much time you spent on it. But I did think it was Sherrod and I talked about it a little bit today. How telling it was how much the players really enjoyed Ime's first win yesterday, and like how behind him they were after a whole season's worth of nobody saying anything nice about Brad. Seeing them really getting behind their coach. Did make me feel a little better, because it was like, okay, if there are bumps and bruises if there are some bumps on the road along the way, we got it. We got this guy. We want him to succeed. We like him. We like the direction that it's going. And that kind of said that. So that was a small thing. I kind of dug that yesterday.
But John, we're still in the honeymoon. They're going to do that.
Fine.
They're lovey-dovey right now.
Okay.
This is what everything is good. Even when things are like crappy, they're still okay because this is the honeymoon, and we love each other. We're gonna love him and pet him. And
no, but they've hit a real serious.
Call him George, right? Yeah, no, I hear
exactly.
you. Yeah.
No, it was good.
That's a great reference. Oh man,
it was probably good to hit a bump as big as that.
Tell me more about the rap.
early on.
We could be literary from time to time.
Yeah.
yeah, good job. I like that, Sherrod. There you go.
So,
we read books around here.
Yeah. I did want to, Tatum, great. Brown, no ill effects, but it was, this was the Rob awakening game, I think, for sure. He does the things he does. He's got the good hands, passing, made that great bounce pass top of the key early in the game. Unreal. He's just very smart and quick, and just, you see that IQ sometimes, still some flat-footed on defense a little bit from time to time, a little bit slow to help, bad job challenging threes. Jimmy, get out of the comments of Tyson Men. I like it. Fuzzy's
I didn't do that.
That was me. I hit that one.
Fuzzy's a legend.
I couldn't let it slide. I had to do it. But at least it doesn't say Josue in it. There's no Josue in it.
We're all at the wheel now.
That's
yeah,
great.
right.
That's good
And how
stuff.
about Rob getting way up there on that big
Okay, so
ball down
does
the
that
stretch?
change the fact that he hadn't prior to tonight?
Again,
I don't
he's been
understand.
It
good.
proves John's point.
Are
It proves
we
your
not
point,
allowed
John.
to talk? It makes my point. It doesn't.
We're
It makes your
allowed.
point, right.
It's just
It
you guys
makes
are
it for me.
slamming
No,
you guys
it's
are
not.
slamming the panic button. You're
It
like, oh my
makes my
god, he could miss a
point.
month.
When
Brown,
you
the
don't
alarms are
see
going
it,
off, and
you're
he's
like,
fine.
no, it makes the point. When you don't see it, you're like, where is that? And then when you see it, you celebrate it, and you're like, oh, there it is. You just want to see it, right?
I'm just trying to quell the concern between.
But like
the
I
two, 'cause
said,
every
imagine
injury,
if-
it's like the end of the world.
Imagine if your ace starting pitcher who throws 98, 99 every game goes out there and he's topping out at 88, and everyone's like, oh, he's fine. No, that's scary. I would be worried. And then when I see him hit 99, I'll shut up, but until I see it, I'm like, okay, he's throwing 88 miles an hour. That's bad, right?
Yeah.
So today was like that day where it was like, oh, he's got the lift. It was
Right.
great.
It's not like
he
we're
had to. He had
we're not
to. It was
expecting him to
if I
jump
don't
out of
do
the gym.
it, he'll lose the game. So it shows he still has it, but yeah, we haven't seen that. I agree. We haven't seen it.
I'm not expecting him to jump out of the gym every single game, but when he plays like he does tonight, where that alley-oop that he caught from Tatum, a couple of those blocks, some nice big rebounds, like that's what you just want to see more consistently. And that's why when he's sort of like going at 50% around the court, that's what I mean. What the hell is going on here? And everyone's like, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Well, it's kind of hard not to worry about it when you can only be who you are once every couple games. Like, no, that's not how we want it to work. You want it to be more consistent.
By the way,
I think what Rob is starting to do is he's getting better at picking his spots. Like I think there were other opportunities where he could have showed that uber athleticism that we're used to, and he didn't. I think he's just starting to process. I don't need to be jumping out the gym every play.
I agree.
First, caught myself. He doesn't have to do that, but he does need to take advantage of opportunities when his athleticism can give him an opportunity to make a play.
Okay.
That others
I also think the passing to him has been horrible. It got much better down the
they
stretch
don't
of the
look
game.
for him at all.
They don't
at all. They
And
never
when
look
they
for him on
do-
the roll. It's unreal.
When they
They
do,
treat him
it's like
he's-
over
they
their
treat him like he's
shoulder.
Ben Wallace or something.
Yeah.
When they do, it's over their shoulder. Yeah, wherever, just go get it.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
I
just
think they got
expect him to
used
pull it
that.
down wherever they throw it.
Yeah. Right. I'm in trouble, Rob.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, it was so bad in that first
I-
half.
I want to point out something subtle that's happening in case you don't know it. So what Bobby's doing Bobby was late to get on the Rob train last year, so now Bobby is acting like he's more cerebral than the rest of us, seeing the more nuanced thing Rob is doing without jumping this year,
I'm
and then
squeezing
tweeting something asinine like, "I think Rob's actually better this year than last year," just trying to sneak that one by us
is better
because he was late on the Rob hype train. And
I don't fall for the high flying dunks and all that. No.
Oh, you simpletons out there.
All I'm talking about is the stat line, and especially after tonight.
All you see are shiny objects and big jumping things.
Yeah, right.
Look at his footwork. He's actually improved.
But I, who understand basketball,
all I'm doing is hitting basketball.
Rob 2.0.
I'm doing is hitting basketball reference tomorrow morning and send you guys the stats next to last year's stats, and then that's all I'm trying to say.
We're eye test guys. Your number, you need to see the numbers.
Oh yeah, the new analytics like points, rebounds, and blocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brad's not.
Yeah, we don't look
concerned.
at those.
Brad's looking at the same stuff Bobby's looking at. Brad's not concerned.
Bobby wants in. Bobby's trying to sneak in. He's trying to split the stock. He's trying to buy Rob's stock. He missed out on it last year.
Right. Rob stonk.
Everything's just a little bit more seasoned. He's following less. He's staying down. He's playing within the flow of the switching defense, which is really hard for a guy like him. They're utilizing him in individual matchups. It's almost like a switch and one, where sometimes they're keeping him on individual guys like Bridges early on. Didn't do as good of a job with that today, but he shut down Randall in that opening night game, which just – and that's a guy who could give him trouble in the past, a banger, a guy who's big-bodied. He's just been impressive to me from the ground up to start this year. And I saw what you saw too, John. There's no doubt about it.
He was
especially in that 0-7 game to start the preseason. But he's come a long way. And I think the ramp up, and I think what Sherrod said about him managing himself a little bit more, not trying to dunk everything and do all that. Like there's just more of a game sense to what he's trying to do instead of trying to make a big play every single time.
So what you want to say is this.
Say it though. Say it. Now go lead that bench, Rob. Right?
Say it.
Yeah, you want.
Like I said, same amount of minutes either way. I think you can find some chemistry.
Keep getting booted.
He's splitting the stock again.
Yep, exactly.
See, we measure.
Hey, let's
see,
not
me
knock
and John.
what Al's done. Al was incredible.
We measure Rob through stats like distance carried through the air and like hang time, vertical leap ability.
So
we're talking
vertical spacing.
Physics now.
I measure him in souls taken.
Like souls taken. That's a good one too.
How many souls? How much manhood he has robbed?
How many
people
bodies
of.
is he?
Yes, bodies.
Body count this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people count blocks. We count bodies.
Yeah.
It'll ramp up.
Probably a newbie. Okay. What do we got?
That was good. That was
9
good.
blocks for the team, and they're doing this night in and night out, blocking a million shots. He's obviously at the center of it. That put them out in transition in that fourth quarter. Just all the live ball blocks, steals, disruptiveness in the lanes. This team, we knew they had the potential to be really good defensively. Tonight, we finally saw it.
Yeah.
I think John's just worried that Rob's going to turn into Nerlens Noel.
That's what you guys were saying.
Who said that?
On
Josue?
the thread, you guys said it tonight.
I said it to stir the pot. You know what? I was like, damn. And I said,
that's like one of those.
Williams
but
Noel.
if that happens in 3 years, you guys are going to be like, oh, shit, he was right.
I like Nerlens, but no, Rob's better than Nerlens. It's not even close.
All right. Hey, Nerlens isn't bad, but the way Bobby wants
he's not bad. Just Rob's infinitely better.
Well, he's better now, but
see where Rob stacks up him on the centers right now.
Those first few years, he looked really good.
Yeah, but then he
fell off.
Paid. Didn't take the money back.
The parallel making there. Hopefully, I'm wrong.
Knicks were good for him last year. That kind of revitalized his career a little bit.
But you can't stay healthy.
But Rob's got a way higher ceiling for sure at this point.
Yeah,
he would really need to fall off.
Yeah. If you guys if Celtics fans ever worried about Rob, just think of Nerlens.
Yeah.
No, if you they should. Listen. We love Rob, but are any of us surprised at what he's doing? No. The only difference between him now and in the past is he's healthy. That's literally the only thing he's doing more of now.
Is he, Sherrod? Is he?
Well, he's healthy enough to get you 16 boards. tonight,
Well, he's playing a full dose. I mean, think
and
about
he's
it.
playing real minutes.
His minutes
Yeah.
are up. That
He's
was
gonna
one
keep
of the
hitting
things I was looking
his
for.
career high minutes, so that's good. You know, You
With
wanna
him,
see
it's about sustaining the level of play. He doesn't have to go out and get 16 rebounds every night, but the activity, the engagement that he had at both ends of the floor, giving us a little bit of that super duper athleticism that he brings to the table. Not every. It has the big difference with Rob now. It seemed in the past, every single time he made a play, he was trying to make a highlight play.
Yeah.
Like if you throw a lob up there, he's trying to not just dunk it, he's trying to put his damn chest over the rim and dunk it. Now he's just smarter.
So, yes and no.
Yeah.
There are some times, like I said, he's just kind of. There's a couple times he needed more lift and he didn't get it. If he's saving himself, then he's just got to figure out the right formula. Because there's a couple times he's gone up, just not gone up high enough. He's gotten blocked. He hasn't, challenged a shot. There was that crazy athleticism is a deterrent when he's going out on closeouts. Sometimes when he's just flying through the air and could be standing under the basket and still challenge a shot at the 3-point line. So there's just times where he's got to get up there to freak people out a little bit too. That's part of it.
Yeah.
That knowing that he can pick a ball out of the air from anywhere is a big part of his game. Yeah.
You almost never know where he's going to be in this defense. Is he dropping? Is he on one guy? Is he switching? And he's showing that he can do all of that.
He was agile and active tonight. I liked the footwork a lot. I liked his lateral movement, his agility.
He had that big contest on Oubre's 3 late too.
That was big,
and he was moving well. I thought just the way he was shuffling his feet. Far be it for me to interrupt a Rob Williams conversation, but I do want to mention that we have a new sponsor on board.
Oh, I love this.
Calm.
Let's go.
Yes. We are calm. Everybody.
The rain.
John could use
Can I get the
sometimes
the
I
paid
can.
version for free?
Okay. Real talk.
When there's an
I've
injury,
used Calm for a while.
When there's another injury drop on the Celtics PR account, I'm just gonna send John
go
over to one of these
Right.
exercises.
Wait.
If you're
when
ever having trouble sleeping, you put this thing on, you're out.
You're out. You are.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me tell everybody about it for people who
think you're in the
don't know.
forest somewhere or something. You're just gone.
Yeah. Josue's all into it. This is like a LeBron James sort of thing, right? Right?
Not
you want
sort
to
of.
Trying to
He's
ruin
a
it
big.
for you right
he's a-
there.
It's
I try
him,
not
right?
to
You
think about him and I like Calm. I try not to think about it with him though.
Okay.
I know.
But
I'm glad I stopped running the damn commercial. Remember that
Because that
commercial?
does not make me calm.
anyway, Calm is the #1 app for sleep and meditation. It has teamed up with King James. Doesn't mean you have to, but it has teamed up with LeBron James to help you activate the power of sleep. So when it comes to athletes, they focus on physical fitness, but another side of the game, just important, is the mental fitness. Calm is the #1 app for sleep meditation. It can help you train your brain so you sleep better. It reduces stress, perform your best, just like King James. All of us are about
Just
to
like
take
King
part.
James.
Yeah, all of us are taking part in a trial
Go again.
with Calm right now. So you may notice a totally different garden report next week.
Very
You
just
may
like
not like it. You may not like it. We may be too calm.
we might do a section where we're just breathing.
Yeah, we might just
We
hang.
just-
Right. We may
just
stop
doze
in
over,
the
like-
middle for just a few
Yep.
minutes. We're just gonna stop. And we're just gonna chill.
Stories.
Yeah.
Nah.
Sometimes Bobby goes off on one of his statistical tangents, and that can
Bobby
be
will hit us
a
with a
sleep
bad
story
take,
for a
and
lot
that'll
of
just-
people.
That'll snap us right out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's one thing that doesn't make me calm. It's when Bobby starts in with his stuff.
After the show, you gotta go over there.
But let's tell the people the deal, because it's actually a phenomenal deal. That through us here, through the Garden Report, calm.com/garden for a limited time, you get 40% off.
40% off?
subscription. That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
man.
I
Right.
know this is our job, promote this and blah, blah, blah. And it's a sponsor. I'm not blowing smoke. 40% is a huge discount.
huge.
Normally you're getting 10 and 20%. So if you're interested in this at all, that's a pretty good deal. So head over and grab it. 40% discount for the premium subscription.
And you know what? You can even get it's free for the first week, I think, too. So you can go there, give it a shot, see what you like about it, because you will definitely like some things about it. Whether it's they just have like sounds, even like it helps you
garden,
fall asleep.
breeze.
Yeah, they've got some good music options. They've got stories. They've got guys, people narrating stories or whatever it is. Definitely worth checking out. Mental health is important, so it's worth your money.
Yeah, calm.
.com.
Slash
Calm. It's
garden.
calm. Calm.com. Just
Calm.
so people
John,
can
is that
understand.
you? Is that you? You doing that yourself?
COM. Calm.com.
Calm with
How's
an L in there.
Garden.
Slash
Slash
garden.
garden.
All right, it's the coffee. Okay. All right.
Garden is kind of calming too, like a garden.
Yeah.
40%
Like the garden.
off.
The garden report is calming, right?
It's very
Oh, no.
relaxing. Right.
It
This
can
is
be.
like, but this is how
After a
this
win,
is,
it's calming.
this is how
We
we
need
balance.
calm after this.
This is how we balance our boomer range. Is
Right.
with calm. This is how we
Yeah.
do it. So yes. Anyway,
Check it out.
for sure, please. It's our new sponsor. We want to do right by them, and it's actually a really good deal. And we're actually all super interested in doing it. So we're all going to take part, and we'll give you a better idea of what it's all about. But we're pretty excited about it. Just jumped on board. Limited time, 40% off. Other things we want to talk about today, and I know we just spent a fair amount of time on Rob. But I'll take it around the horn, guys, of the stuff we have not discussed yet. Anything from tonight's game that stood out to you? And we can go Jabari.
Yeah,
I know that
I
was
mean,
something
we talked about it a bit. We talked about Jabari Parker, but I guess what I want to say overall is just the fact that Ime was able to address that front court in some way, right? Whether that was Jabari Parker or Juancho Hernan Gomez, I wanted one of those guys to sort of get the free range a bit on one of these games on the road. And he was able to do that with someone like Jabari Parker. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come. I don't expect him to drop 5 3-pointers every single night, or 3 3-pointers rather every single night. But, if you can have that steady option that's likely to go off for, double figures on any given night, that's huge. And his effort on both ends it goes a long way for sure on that second unit. And I'm all about seeing how Ime is going to strengthen that second unit, 2, 3, 4 weeks from now when things are more concrete and guys are starting to set into their roles.
Yeah, or when everybody gets hurt.
Concerned about Aaron Nesmith DNP?
Oh,
Jimmy.
jeez. You had to bring that
Jimmy.
up.
He's
So
in
I
the
was going to
doghouse
say
right
this.
now.
New
Yeah.
coach, same DNP-CD for our friend Aaron Nesmith.
Uh-oh,
He just
Jimmy.
can't get himself on the court. It's a long season. I'm not apologizing for anything yet. And I will also say this. It's not like any of the other quote-unquote kids are running away with, the rest of them.
Romeo was with the minutes.
Romeo Langford
Now he's hurt.
can't even dress. Peyton Pritchard's barely playing double-digit minutes.
Which we
And
called.
Grant Williams of all people is the only.
We said
only one.
we said he wasn't going to get minutes, Jimmy.
And if
We did
Romeo
say
is
that.
healthy, he'd be playing 28 minutes. I think.
I don't know.
He
Romeo
likes
pa-
Romeo. He
Romeo
likes
passed
Romeo.
him.
What do you mean?
That's the problem with the new.
Probably would have been out there instead of Jabari tonight.
That's
Yeah,
your problem
yeah,
with the new
probably.
boss. You have whatever worked with the last guy. You have no idea what this guy's going to think of you. It's obvious Ime does not trust Nesmith at all right now. To
And it's
play
Well,
obvious
that's
that
two
he
coaches
totally
now.
trusts Grant.
huh?
He's over
And
2 now.
And he does trust Grant. And he,
and to Grant's credit, I mean, Grant, listen,
He loves
there's a
Grant.
reason why Grant is a relatively young guy in the league who's on the Players Association executive board. He knows how to politic. He knows how to
Yeah.
legislate his way into situations. He legislated a guy getting a flagrant one tonight. How many
How did
young
he do
players
that?
can do that?
Yeah.
So he and Ime
Even
revealed that
Scal was
the other
beside
night,
himself.
where Ime said, Grant wanted to know what could he do to get on the floor, and he said you need to shoot 40% and play good defense. And 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
yeah, I mean, but the thing is
Especially
with
this early.
Grant, the Grant that's exactly what he needs to do. But Grant, the key is just don't mess it up too bad.
Right.
Like it's
Don't screw
ultimately
up.
like just be okay. The expectations aren't super high for him to hold some minutes. Whereas with Nesmith, there's so many things he can mess up because he's just so all over the place, and that's the problem with him. He's just such a spaz.
Yeah, you need a defensive four to play in this league, and he just hasn't had
Nesmith
it.
again, he would absolutely see the court if he was coming in there and shooting 44% from 3. They'd find a way for him if he was.
But I
automatic.
think he could.
But he's not. He's
He's going to
not.
get.
Yeah.
He's not because he's not playing. But don't tell me. I mean,
Yeah.
you saw how he took control of the team in the summer league.
I want to see
He had
it.
some. He had some spurts. Going into this season. but he doesn't get the opportunity the same way that other guys seem to. So I don't know why
Right.
that is, if he's not earning it in practice or what the reason
He
is.
hasn't been good. He started this year 0 for 10.
Yeah, being
Yeah,
bad is
probably.
Half
being
the
bad
team
is
hasn't
probably the
been
reason.
good, and they're still getting minutes.
He hasn't done anything.
Yeah, but
He's
they're
done
not
a
gotta
few
play,
spot
though.
opportunities here or there.
But he's got to
Well,
step
Who's
on
he
the
going to get
court.
30 minutes? I mean, this guy's way down the roster. We talked about over and over again. The roster's older. It's more experienced. You got wings that are better than him. And the goal all along was to rely on those kind of guys less. And they haven't needed Pritchard so far. They haven't needed Neesmith so far. And
Again,
it's a good thing.
if
The ranch
he
is
were
gravy.
again, it all comes down to Romeo played some last year because he was legitimately solid defender. So he earned his way by having one, I'm not going to call it elite skill, but one skill you could count on that had value to you. If Neesmith was absolutely someone that they could count, if I could just stick him in the corner and we move the ball, he's going to knock those down, but he's just not. That's the problem, is he's not doing the thing he's supposed to be great at, and everything else is a discombobulated mess. He doesn't know where he's supposed to be on offense or defense. He's playing too fast, and that's just the problem with him, which is too bad. Because, again, we did see the glimpse a little bit in the summer league. We did see it slow down. We saw the handle improve just a little. And then, again, he just goes in and he just looks like the game's just going 100 miles an hour for him, and he can't process it right now. It doesn't mean he won't ever, but that's why he's not in.
And you know what else, too, John? Sadiq Bey's balling out this year. Still going from last year.
I know. Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted to mention Miles Bridges explained himself on Twitter just now.
What did
He
say?
goes,
I'm not dead.
Also, I'm gonna jump
Dead man tweet.
every time I'm down by 3 in an overtime game. When the game's on the line, exclamation point, hell of a play. So he gave props to Tatum and said, "Look, I don't care who's in front of me. I'm not gonna move out the way when it's a close game."
Tatum moved out of the way.
I appreciate that. I'm glad.
In
that
classic
that.
Rozier form, says, "No need to explain. You front line with it every time."
Hey,
Jaylen-
we're giving him shit, obviously, but it's nice to see players go up against somebody trying to throw it down. I mean, you want to see that. You don't want to see people just do that thing where they just kind of slide underneath.
Tatum
Tatum
did it twice tonight.
Someone did
Yeah.
that in that situation.
Tatum did it
That'd be
twice
terrible.
tonight. He was like,
Right.
Tatum does
nope,
that. Yeah, he does that.
gone. He wanted nothing to do with it, for sure. He doesn't want to get on a poster. Jaylen Brown, by the way, and we haven't really talked a ton about Jaylen, so I did want to circle back a little bit. He spoke after the game and said that he does not believe that his knee is chronic. He said it was last year. He's saying that this year he thinks it's more of an isolated flare-up and he'll be fine. I don't know what he's basing that off of, but it's his body, his knee. I don't know that he's qualified necessarily to say that. But
it was chronic last year, but now it's not chronic.
I don't know what that. I don't know how that happens.
Because chronic,
we need to learn the word
typically
chronic.
means it's something that you're able to manage, but doesn't ever fully go.
Yeah,
well.
chronic is
Jalen's
not.
got to remember who he's talking to. You know, half of these media members, they're like, "Wait a minute, that's not how that works.
Yeah, chronic. Yeah,
Maybe.
That's not how it goes."
I mean,
Yeah.
there's no surgery that can cure your chronic whatever because
That's why it's called chronic, right? It doesn't go away.
That's why John is a card-carrying member of the blown ACL club. He would rather have that because you
just
can come back
blow
from
it
that.
up and fix it. Yeah,
Right.
those things you just stick them together. And
Even
it's
though
like,
that
Tommy
is
John
what happened to
surgery,
Kemba
yeah.
originally.
Yeah, it's like with the pitcher.
yeah.
Get John Sergio, come back
Didn't you ever
stronger.
see Rookie of the Year? That kid was throwing like 120 miles an hour. You know.
What was I gonna say? I forgot that.
Well, hey,
No,
what about
yeah.
Sherrod? Sherrod, you weren't on the show yesterday, and I took a lot of flack from people who are watching it because I was and still am fairly concerned about Jaylen Brown's knee. Is that something that I'm off base on, or is there a reason that after three games?
I'm not.
That's his go-to right there.
I'm cautiously concerned, and by that I mean I'm concerned, but I'm not hitting the panic button because I just don't think there's a reason.
That's
to right
exactly where you should be. And Jimmy the panic meter was
I'm not-
high for Jimmy
There's no
yesterday.
reason to hit the
I'm on high
panic
alert.
button at this point. Now, if he didn't play tonight,
Oh yeah, high alert, Jimmy.
then it's like, okay, this is a problem because then it's like, okay, we're not even through the first full week and a half of the damn season, and he's already missed, a couple of games with this thing. But he was out there playing tonight, played well, played it overtime, made major athletic plays when it mattered most down the stretch and had a really good game. Now, will he be good enough to go against Washington in a couple days? Because
that's what I worry about.
Yeah, because if it's a situation where he has to sit out that game, then all of a sudden I'm not thinking so much about, whether he can play or not. I'm thinking, are we going to go through Kemba Walker 2.0 with Jaylen? Where
that's what I was saying too.
When he's healthy, he's incredibly impactful, but we can't rely on him to be healthy. But right now, I'm cautiously concerned about that, but I'm not like hitting the panic button because Jaylen has shown the ability to play through, that. But
he plays through pain a lot. And
but that's not where we are, though. That's the point. Okay, like and I'm with you, Jimmy, and I'm kind of in between you guys on the far end of the worry meter. It doesn't mean his season is over, but it's a super concern really early in the year because we saw what it did last. We saw what it did last year. Like, it's different if you get to look, everybody plays hurt. You get to game 70, 80, entering the playoffs, and nobody's 100%. And those are the times where you're like, okay, he'll just tough it out.
Well, Ime did say today, I asked him, is this typical? Is this kind of a cause for alarm? And he said it's not typical. Like, they've had some extenuating circumstances here that have made guys do big workloads to get themselves ready that probably overexerted themselves. And
then you got the quick turnaround to the start of the season, which is another factor.
You play 14 back-to-backs, which is the most out of anybody here. The thing is, it's not acceptable to me that it's like, oh, okay, well, they'll manage. You don't want to be in a position where you're managing it. And again, in order for this team to reach its level, you need Tatum and Brown up a notch. You can't have Jaylen Brown playing at 85% of himself, which is still very good. It doesn't work that way. He has to be 115%, 125% of what he was last year, because those guys have to lift their game to get the Celtics into contention, because it's just not a good enough roster unless they do that. So you need Tatum and Brown to be absolute assassins every single night, superstars, raising the level of the game. You can't be managing injuries here and just toughing it out. It's just not going to be good enough for this team. Is Jaylen still going to be good? Yeah, he'll be good, but that kills the team. You can't have Jaylen at less than 100% and have it happen early in the year. So
especially when his backup's Romeo, who can't see the court anyways. And the other thing is this: it's Jaylen one night, it's Al tonight. Like, is it just going to be like we're just playing, who's who of out on any given night? Because, we know the history with Al Horford and some of the lower body issues that he's had. And, he's obviously on the other side of a typical playing career. I'm not saying he can't play. Clearly, he's shown that he's, extremely capable of playing at a high level still in the NBA. But it always comes down to health and, pain management and all that stuff. And to already be missing games at this point in the season is just like we all said, they're not deep enough for that. And not many NBA teams are. I mean, it's just the way the NBA is now.
Yeah. My concern is the array of injuries that we saw last year. 4, 5, 6 ailments.
Tatum's grabbing at his calf tonight. My God.
That's the one, it just piled up over Brown. He's a physical player. He's sprinting down the floor every time. He's initiating contact. He's going to the lane again and again. So that's stuff that's going to pile up for him just from the way he plays, because he's not as finesse, as perimeter-based as Tatum is on a play-to-play basis. So I think there's reason for, like Sherrod said, cautious concern, that kind of thing. But panic off this one ailment that really didn't hobble Rob all that much, and Brown was back
different players
later.
Different injuries, different players, different levels.
Semantic arguments with panic. It's not panic. It is flat out like this could.
Hey, if we're calling it like a mild concern, I think that's fair.
No, it's not. It's only mild. Look, you can be mildly concerned.
You're taking so many levels of it.
Or heavily concerned. The point is,
can we create the hierarchy right now? Yeah. No concern.
There's like 5
mild
levels.
Concern, medium concern.
Yeah, where's our panic meter, John, that we had last? I think I had Josue create it last year. We already need it.
The exact wording that we've been using.
Large concern? Is it big gulp concern? Is it
in there somewhere? We'll pull that back out.
Panic meter, but Zannis was on the far end of the panic meter.
I'm always on the far end.
I was next to him. Then it was Josue. Then it was Bobby in all green. Yeah. Never concerned.
It was.
But we'll see. Listen, I don't want to be concerned. You think I want to be concerned? I don't want to be concerned. I don't want to see the and what is it? The NEBH medical report on Twitter that comes out every damn day, and everyone goes
Every
talk
day
about
it's
panic
like you're
mode.
clenching. You're like, who's
Exactly.
gonna
All
be
of a
next?
sudden, you get that alert, and you're like, "Oh God, here we go!" And you start scrolling down the list of names.
All I do is text Doc Flynn every single day. Yeah, I'm like, how bad is this?
yeah. What does this
It's
mean?
unreal with this team. And I know people in the comments will like figure out what's going on with the medical staff. It's like, all right, like that's the hardest thing to do in this. How are you gonna like do a deep dive on stuff you know nothing about? It's
Right.
We're all just always guessing with the injury.
There's no
stuff.
point to guess it, but again, it's always like a little bit of a worry,
You
with,
can make an inference. You can read. You can talk to somebody. But at the end of the day, you're not looking at the scans. You're not in the X-ray room, MRI. Like, what are you gonna do?
Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm just
no.
looking at the damn report that they tweet out and being like, "What the hell's going on right now?"
Yeah.
That's pretty much the extent of it.
WebMD
And then you
a
get
little
the other
bit.
thing is this: with the Celtics, you don't know what the hell to believe. Sherrod
The
can tell you.
skepticism's
tell you
fair
all
with the
about the
Celtics. We went through the whole
medical-
Kemba ride.
Yeah, but even prior to that, I mean, you can go.
You're gonna bring up KG, aren't you?
I wasn't
Go ahead,
gonna,
Jimmy.
but you can go down the list of.
Well, that's the
names.
old staff. I'm just talking new staff.
Well, there's some carryover of the people who are in the organization.
Yeah, I hate that
So bitter.
speculation because it's like you don't know. Is it medical staff? Is
Are
it
these
bad luck?
doctors bad?
Are people out of
Yeah.
shape? Like I have not in game condition. Yeah, I mean you don't know. With Romeo, I think you just got to say like the dude's just hurt.
Listen,
you
players are very hesitant to say that they're banged up, that they're hurt. Like almost everybody's like, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. So it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough. But anyway, this was overall super positive night because of, like I said, what we, just recapping top of the show, a lot of things you wanted to see. And again, just to go through again, Rob looking like Rob, Marcus doing Marcus things, a good game from Jaylen and Jason together, Schroeder making an impact, Jabari making an impact, just tons of good stuff. And they were shorthanded. So, I mean, again, you're missing two guys, whether or not you're expecting a ton out of Romeo. He's clearly a rotation player now. And then Al has been their most consistent player through 3 games. So being without those guys and coming out with a win on a back-to-back in Charlotte, huge game for the Celtics.
The team that was undefeated. Coming into this
Undefeated
game.
team playing really well. This is a dynamite offense. They're really, really good. So this was all around a really solid win with a ton of things to build on. We're gonna wrap it up. So guys, last
I didn't really
thoughts here before we go.
I didn't really notice our friend Gordon Hayward much tonight. Of all the things that
I did.
He was so bad.
I did. He was the guy that was turning the ball over down the stretch.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
the
yeah.
guy
that turnover was awful.
Dennis Schroeder, who's 6 inches shorter than him. I noticed Gordon all game.
Especially when you know Marcus Smart and you're throwing in that area. Scal was saying that. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like you
Plus-
should know this as well as anyone.
His new barber's trash, by the way.
Al's the one you broke up. You broke up with Gordon, and first time you saw them, they put on a little bit of weight, and you're like, oh hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was.
Well, normally there's the revenge.
You're all
game.
right. You're all right. Good to see you. You're looking good, and you don't really mean it.
The funny
And
thing
that was
about Gordon is he's in the same spot with the Hornets as he was in Boston. Yeah. The guy that was supposed to be your number 1 is probably your number 3 or 4.
Right.
Ooh, Hornets
That's
struggle
totally.
defensively too.
But
Type
John,
of guy-
that was
No,
the
guys,
first-
player he is.
guys,
that was the first
someone
time,
asked
right?
me to do a marriage analogy. That's why I did that. People are like, "Why are you fat shaming Gordon?" I was just messing around.
Real quick on Smart.
Someone asked me in the
fat-shaming
chat to do a
Gordon?
marriage analogy. I just tried to slip it in.
You're right.
Quickly on Smart
Whatever
too.
thing that made that person look different, you're like, oh yeah.
And Josue is just going to double down on that.
Yeah. Right.
Quick on Smart.
Someone just asked for it.
Not that that's a bad.
No, but he didn't make an impact. What was funny,
No.
Sherrod and I again had this conversation about Hayward earlier. There's nothing wrong with Hayward. Again, it's just the irony of him leaving.
I'd
Boston.
still take him back.
But it's not just that. We said it
Still
then,
take
even at the
him
beginning
back.
of last year. The irony of him leaving Boston theoretically to be more the man and more touches. How far is he from the man in Charlotte?
Yeah.
He's further from the man
He
there
might
than he
be
was
further
here.
down the pecking pole there than he would have been in
Now,
Boston.
when he got there, it was a little different.
Yeah.
He was pretty
No,
important
almost
last year.
instantly. LaMelo and Rozier were ahead of him like in week 2.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
Bridges
now,
It was
passed
even
him
playing
now.
today.
and now Bridges has passed him, so he's fourth
Now
on the
Bridges-
pecking
Yeah.
order.
They
It's
got
the same
they got Oubre taking all of his shots now
And
too.
Oubre's like, I like to shoot too.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that was unreal.
Yeah, that's unbelievable for sure.
He's so far down the pecking order on that team.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's not snatching
But-
the ball out of Ubre's
He's
hand.
counting his dollars either way. I
the
guess.
check's still the same every week. Real quick on Smart, sick all week. Thankfully, something, because we're like, what's going on with this guy? The last 2-3 games, really the whole start to the season.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
they
migraine, throwing up, chills.
Don't
At least we
forget
got
about the
something
knee.
there.
That
Because
knee
we've been
bruise.
guessing.
Yeah, he had that knee bruise, and I don't think anyone saw it, but he came out before the home game in this big ass brace on his knee, and he was looking real uncomfortable. Took it off and did his normal shoot around, but at some point, that brace was real, and it's good to see him moving well, doing the Marcus Smart type things out there. 3 for 12 shooting, but making 5, 6, 7 big plays to help him win. So.
No, it's just good we have something because it's like, what's going on? He looks so bad to start this year, and you're like, is there an intensity issue here? Is he upset about something? You're just kind of running through the list, and at least there's something physical and illness wise that explains his start here. And he gritted through it big time today. He said he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to play today.
Well, that's
Hey,
good because I mean, when
When
comes
all else
to
fails, just say, "Yeah, I got the stomach bug."
but
No one's
ultimately-
gonna doubt you.
well,
Yeah, I threw up.
ultimately,
That's a great excuse.
ultimately, like, look, that's what the thing with Smart is. Most of what he does is a matter of choice. And when he doesn't do it, you're like, why is he choosing not to be Marcus, like to be diving on floors and to be that instigator and the catalyst and the energy guy? And when he doesn't do it, you're like, wow, all that's left is this, kind of bad shooter, and like that's all he's got. You have an imperfect player. He has to do that stuff. So when he doesn't, so again, benefit of the doubt here. We'll see. Again, mostly positive on most things here. Some people in the chat are saying like, nah, it wasn't a great game. They just had a good finish. I thought they played a really good game tonight. So
They
The
went down
Hornets
like
are really good. People
they
don't
went
realize.
down, like,
Hornets are good, man. This
to
was a
11
good game.
when they were down like 11 points or whatever with like 5 minutes to go. I was like, this one might be over. So you got to give them a ton of credit for clawing back the way they did as the lights go out. In my
On a Houston, Charlotte back-to-back too, which when we talk about the
Jimmy sounded
schedule,
rough
so
tonight.
weird.
Yeah. Anyways, fun
Time to
game
go.
overall, guys. We're gonna wrap it. Sherrod,
time to
anything,
go as my lights.
Sherrod, anything to close? Because
Flicker.
Jimmy,
Yeah,
someone turned the lights
give
out
me
on
some
Jimmy.
light.
Pay the
It's
bill?
real.
Flip out.
Hold on.
Josue's Wi-Fi, Jimmy's lights. Like what kind of operation are we running?
Dude, my
Yeah,
connection
what you
today is
mean? I thought it
horrible.
was good today. Damn it.
you
You
good,
were fine.
Josue.
Mine was shit.
Other than
Dude,
that
my
robot
mic really
man
doing
moment
that
you had
thing?
early on, Josue, you're
Yeah,
pretty
a
Was
little
the mic doing that
robotronic.
thing?
What?
No, it's good.
No, it
Mine
was.
was.
Though. I'll get rid of this thing. Tell him.
Hey, Josue's.
Oh, I love that, Mike. Bring it back one day.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Nah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, it's
You
fun
missed
when
it.
we win. It's fun when we win.
It is.
Sherrod, you got anything to close?
No.
Good.
I'm done.
All right. Then I
Wizard
will
series. You get to do the Beal
On to the
Tatum
next
thing for
one.
3
On
days.
to the Bradley Beal.
Yeah,
I'm
When's
all
that
set.
game?
I'm all set with Beal.
On
Oh
to the
my God.
speculating.
Wednesday.
You were
I'm done.
loving it
Wednesday.
over the offseason, John.
I was having fun. I was just trying to stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah, hey,
Damn
you
it,
gotta
Beal,
keep
can't
it
wait for
interesting.
wait for the question.
Yeah. We all play our parts. Sherrod, are you going to the game on Wednesday?
I will be there Wednesday.
Sherrod, Bobby will be there. Jimmy and I, Josue kind of does his own thing. Josue, what are you doing?
I don't know. I might go. We'll see.
I might
No,
go,
no,
might
I'll
whatever.
be here.
Hey, John, can I go?
Josue.
John,
Yeah,
can
Jimmy,
I
you can
go?
go. Yeah, you can go. Jimmy, I might need you to cover some Red Sox.
I
for me
need
next year.
Jimmy there. Let's get
Oh,
a Jimmy
God.
appearance.
Red
Yeah.
Sox. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to really sweet talk me.
I'll
into
go
that.
with you. Let's go back. Let's get
Get my
back to
comb
it.
The
on,
Red
guys.
Sox are
Bring the
back.
band
What
back.
do you mean? You don't want to do a 9-hour coverage? No.
You know
You
what
might,
happened?
have to, you might have to beg for a credential now after this.
You know what
playoff
happened
game,
with the
Jimmy.
Red Sox
No.
while we weren't paying attention? The
They got good?
No,
Got
the
their ass kicked?
millennials took it over. Like
So great.
Baseball's a young sport again. You know why?
Are you sure about that?
Carabas.
Ah.
I'm not kidding. It's unreal. It just became the
Nicknames.
the entire
personality.
culture of the sport.
Here's the
changed
thing
in
that
terms
he
of the
did.
fans. It was
It's
unreal.
cool again.
None
Yeah.
of the players have personality or brands, and MLB should be paying him millions because he's creating them for these guys.
He
with the
literally is the
nicknames
most
and
important guy
personas.
in the game.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
and
He's-
Otani was great for the game too.
Yeah. a few
Otani's a
guys.
beast. He was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Monster.
Well, see, that's what got us into it from the beginning. Well, at least for me, right? The Nomars doing this and Pedro's and
Yeah.
the whole 14.
No, but this
all
is
those
what
guys
we
have
said. Baseball was missing the
They all have
personalities.
personalities.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like Carabas
Manny,
provided.
my
He's got friggin' Kyle Schwarber's a boring dude, but now he's Kyle from Waltham, and like he's he's just a fun guy.
Verdugo, he's just like that guy you want to chill with. Like Verdugo's got personality. Like,
Yeah, totally different. So Jimmy, I'll see you at the ballpark.
All right, we'll be there
one more
opening night.
Shout out to
Opening day.
com.com/garden.
Yes,
Go check it
40%
out.
off.
40% off. Again,
I'm turning
it
on the
is
rain tonight.
Yeah, like, seriously,
Need double
how
dose.
many
number
times
one
it's
app
off?
for sleep
Right.
and meditation. Okay, teamed up with LeBron James. It's a big deal. This is a huge discount. Go get some.
Few of these commenters could use the com app. They freaking the hell out sometimes in the comment section too.
There's certain
some
nights we could all use
They got
it.
they got some anger towards me in last night's show. So you know what? Go
Yeah,
download the
commenters
com.
bristly early on.
Go
this season.
download that com app
Go
right
download
now.
that comment. Go yourself.
Yeah,
I think
right.
we-
Seriously, get lost in it for
That's
a
what
few
I thought
hours.
you were gonna say.
I think we do a fair. I think we play our part, Jimmy, in
Oh, yeah.
agitating some of them a little bit. So
Oh,
I
it
get
doesn't
it.
bother me one bit. I appreciate it. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
read them for 6 hours after the show.
Someone goes, Jimmy, you okay with me, bro?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I can't even read them right now. I have to read them after the damn fact.
Yep. And that's it. That's all I got for everybody. So again, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. We had a really good audience tonight. It was a ton of fun.
Yes.
And it was happy in a win. We mostly kept it calm.
Yeah.
We kept
Yeah,
calm.
calm.
It was
You
good.
know it's gonna happen a lot, right, guys? This overtime stuff. Like this is that team. I'm telling you, we're going to overtime a lot this year. But I
I
love
like
it.
Good
it.
games early on.
It's exciting.
I mean, the fact that we didn't talk about it, but what happened on that Celtics inbound?
There's a commenter here who
I think
said,
he just lost the ball.
oh,
like,
these
Tatum, I don't know if
guys.
it was a dead spot or I don't know what.
Hayward got in there a little bit. He
This
got his
comment-
revenge.
This comment cracks me up. Oh, these guys again. Like, did you just change the channel and came upon us? Like, what do you mean these guys again? This is
They
our
were
Yeah.
looking
show.
for Goodman
Like-
Ryan.
We're on it every time, man. What do you mean?
It's
oh,
literally
these
our
guys?
show. Yeah, it's us again.
They were
Knock,
looking
knock,
for Goodman
bitch.
Ryan.
It's
What
me
is the
again.
point of this podcast?
What
I
do you
love
think? You
that.
see Evan Lazar and a whole bunch
Yeah.
of like a whole new crew.
You like turn on the Celtics game, you're like, oh, it's these Celtics players again.
Oh,
Like, what the
God,
hell did you
these
expect to
guys.
see? Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
It's
thank
time
you
to go,
again.
He's talking about John and Sherrod.
Good night, everybody. Thank